Diaries, Episode 1. From the Florentine Chronicles of Marchione di Coppo di Stefano Bognotti. In the year of our Lord, 1348, there occurred in the city of Florence a great pestilence. Such was its fury and violence that whenever it took hold in a household, all the sick people and the carers died of the same illness, and almost nobody survived beyond the fourth day. There appeared to be no remedy, either because those illnesses were not yet recognized, or because doctor hadn't studied them properly. Such was the fear that nobody knew what to do. When it took hold in a household, not a single soul survived. And not just men and women, but even animals. Dogs and cats, oxen and hens, horses, donkeys, sheep, all died from the same illness with the same symptoms. And the symptoms were as follows. Either between the thigh and the body, or under the armpit, there appeared a lump and a sudden fever. And when the victim spat, he spat blood mixed with saliva. And nobody who spat blood survived. Such was the terror this caused that whenever it caught hold in a household, everybody left. Everybody abandoned the dwelling in fear and went to another, either to the city or to the countryside. There were no doctors to be found because they were dying like everybody else. And when they could be found, they demanded cash in hand before entering the house. And they would enter the house and take the patient's pulse with their heads turned away. Sons abandoned fathers, husbands, wives, wives, husbands, one brother the other, one sister the other. The city was reduced to burying the dead, to burial. Many died who at their passing had neither confession nor last sacrament. Many died unseen. Many died of hunger. Because when somebody took ill to their bed, the other occupants would tell him, "I'm going for the doctor." And then they would leave, lock the door from outside and never return. The victim, abandoned by people and nourishment, yet keeping constant company with the fever, wasted away. At all the churches, or well, at most of them, pits were dug down to the water table, as wide and as deep as the parish was populous. And there, in the middle of the night, whoever had died would be shouldered by those whose duty it was and thrown into the pit. In the morning, there would be very many bodies in the pit. Earth would be gathered and thrown on top of them, and then others would come on top, and then earth on top again, in layers, with very little earth, like garnishing lasagna with cheese. No industry was busy in Florence. All the workshops were locked up, all the inns were closed. Only the church and the chemists were open. Wherever you went, you could find almost nobody. This plague started in March and ended in September of 1348. And then people began to return to their homes and belongings. And such was the number of houses full of goods with no owner that it was amazing. And then heirs to this wealth began to turn up, and suddenly someone who previously had nothing found himself rich. Couldn't believe it. People began to show off their clothes and their horses. This too shall pass, because this has all happened before, and it will happen again. Stay safe.